The 1970s. Jump back, baby.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Animation Pilgrimage, where Sean and I take a look at every single theatrically released animated film in chronological order. I'm Tennille.
I'm Sean. Content warning.
Yeah.
Adult film. If your child, get out.
If child, get out!
If you don't like squidgy subjects, get out.
I mean, are we even going to be talking about the squidgy subjects all that often? Content warning to be safe.
Content warning to be safe. I think we should mention... I feel like I need to mention why this movie is so terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into details, though.
Yeah, so that's your warning. If you want to leave, best leave now. We just watched The 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat. This is a sequel to Fritz the Cat. Not directed by Ralph Bakshi, but under the same studio and producer of Fritz the Cat. They basically wanted to cash in on Fritz the Cat's popularity.
Mm-hmm.
So they had Robert Tyler, who had worked with Bakshi in the past, direct this film. And it's a mess. Like, it's just a disaster.
I have a real short summary for you.
Great. Go for it.
Fritz is a layabout husband who sits in his apartment without a job and smokes pot all day. His wife yells at him for being a layabout and a terrible husband.
And father.
And while this is going on, he fantasizes about going and living many other lives. 9 of them, in fact, probably. I don't know. I didn't keep track.
It is 9.
And, that's the movie.
Yeah.
At the end, he gets kicked out of his house because he's a terrible...
person.
I was going to say human being, but he's not a human.
He's a human being. For all intents and purposes, he's a human being.
He's a terrible human being, and he gets kicked out.
Yeah.
And in most of his fantasies, he dies or gets hurt or maimed or terrible things happen to him, which he deserves every single time.
Yeah, this is just like the whole Cat 9 Lives thing with the framing device of just he's hallucinating it and being a layabout. And it's an awful it's an awful framing device, not in subject matter. In subject matter, it's just kind of like annoying to watch. You don't relate to this character at all. He's not charming. But the movie's editing is so bad. Like, the way scenes are cut together, this story is not hard to grasp. Watching it, though, is a nightmare, because, like, suddenly it just cuts to things and it assumes that you are on the same page of it, or it just assumes that you're high and you don't really care what the framing device is.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. It's awful. It's really sloppy. It's... I think my favorite note here I have is, this movie asks the question, what's worse than Fritz the Cat? Answer, this.
Yep. The original Fritz the Cat, at the very least, mesmerizes you with, like, its audacity.
Yeah. And also, I think...
It at least had a cohesive, quote-unquote, plot?
Well, okay, I think one of the... I think the thing that really, really brings this movie down and just, like, doesn't, quote-unquote, get what Fritz the Cat was trying to do was that Fritz the Cat is a period piece talking about life in the late 60s, early 70s.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is not that, because it completely, it still has that in there, but basically out of obligation. There's a lot of these lives that Fritz is living that take place during, like, the 20s and the World War II.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't work. It's really, really stupid and adds nothing to what the original movie was trying to do. Again, not that I think the original movie really had a whole lot to say, but it was at least a period piece, you know?
Yeah. Two of these lives in particular stand out to me as being absolutely deplorable. Like,
I mean, most of them are, but go ahead. What are the ones that really grind your gears?
I don't know if it's the first one or the second one because it's hard to tell. But one of them, he drugs his sister and has sex with her.
God! It's been a few days since we watched this movie, and I just was trying so hard to forget about it.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The other one is he's a literal Nazi during World War II, and he's okay with this. And then he gets raped by Hitler in the shower.
Yeah.
I can't tell which of these is worse. They're both terrible.
I mean, they all suck. They all really super suck. But, like, yeah, the movie started off, I think, with that sister one. And I was just like, oh my God, is this what we have to deal with for the rest? Like, I was this close to being like, I don't think I can do this. We need to turn this off.
Thankfully, most of the others are not as bad as those. There's one like, I don't know, he talks to God, who is a hobo that is way tweaked out on drugs and like super alcoholic and then dies. Like, it's less bad than those other two, but it's just like, why? What was the point of this?
There's another one where it takes place in like an alternate reality where black people are given New Jersey as their own country, and then Fritz is framed for killing their president.
It's called New Africa.
Yeah.
It's, I would say, hella racist.
Oh! It's a given that this movie is hella racist, but like... I don't want to think about this movie. It's just garbage.
Cause like that one in specific, it just frames all black people as being very violent and willing to kill each other for the smallest offense.
Oh, and of course they
incredibly vulgar and
they're not like smart enough or whatever to like have an actual political system that works is the big implication there.
And crap like that, and it's like, this is awful.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it so much. We were getting like pretty far ahead working on AP. Like, we were doing a really good job being like up to date and just like keep watching movies. And then we got to this one, and like production on Animation Pilgrimage just stopped for like a week and a half. Because I just did not want to think or talk about or look up anything about this movie again. This is easily one of the worst films we've had to watch for Animation Pilgrimage.
While I haven't gone back and looked at every other movie we've watched for Animation Pilgrimage, just to like double check myself, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some.
Yeah.
But this is easily in my top 3.
Of like...
Worst films.
Animated films we've had to watch.
Worst films to sit through.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly, the critical reception to this was pretty mixed. It was a box office failure. Robert Crumb, the creator of Fritz the Cat, the original comic, doesn't even acknowledge that this film exists.
Good.
But I mean, he had already also killed Fritz the character at this point, so...
He was done. He was done with the character. He's moved on to do other things, presumably.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all that really needs to be said. I don't want to dive into this movie anymore. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to purge this from my memory.
In my notes, I always have, like, a final note of like recommend or not recommend. I simply wrote, never watch this film.
Yeah.
Period.
No.
Just don't do this to yourself.
Yeah, where I can see where there is like
Some relevance to watching Fritz the Cat,
Yeah.
the original, because of the cultural importance of what it did to animation.
Yeah.
Don't watch this, which is the spawn of that.
Yeah, no, there's like just nothing of value here. It sucks. Anyway, next time, we are watching a film from Mexico.
Yes, I believe it's our
Interesting.
very first film from Mexico.
Cool.
And it is The Three Wise Men, so presumably some sort of Christmas story.
movie. Interesting. All right, well, see you guys then.
Hopefully that's better than this and makes 1974 better.
I don't see how it could be worse.
Very true.
It would have I would be shocked. Anyway, see you guys then.
This is about the worst life I ever had.